Ye Christmas Eve. The whole house is filled with the aromas of cinnamon, cloves, and pine. My wife Caitlin has been bustling in the kitchen since early morning, conjuring up the traditional Christmas dinner. Turkey, cranberry sauce, pumpkin pie, all the works. Of course, because today her mom, Sophia, my dear mother-in-law, is flying in. "Honey, you didn't forget that you need to pick up Mom at the airport, did you?" Caitlin calls out, poking her head out of the kitchen. "Of course not, darling. How could I forget the arrival of your beloved mommy?" I grumble under my breath. But out loud I say, "Yes, sunshine, I remember. I already grabbed the car keys." Don't get me wrong, Sophia is a wonderful woman, but her endless advice and instructions can drive anyone crazy sometimes, especially me. However, today is a holiday, so I'll have to put up with it. After all, she's my second mom. Haha, just kidding. Before leaving, I pop into the kitchen to hug Caitlin. She looks so cute in that apron with reindeer and flower on her cheek. "Love you," I whisper in her ear. "I'll be back soon with your mom. Hang in there without me." "Love you too. Come on, hurry up or she'll be waiting." My wife smiles, kissing me on the nose. I step outside and take a deep breath of the frosty air. Ah, Christmas. I love this holiday despite everything. I get in the car, turn on the radio, and merge into the pre-holiday traffic. A long road to the airport lies ahead. I hope I make it back before dark. I call Sophia to let her know I'm on my way. "Hello, Sophia. It's me, Mike. I'm already on the road. Should be there in about 40 minutes. How was your flight?" "Oh, Mikey, hi. Everything is fine. Just a little tired. Don't rush. I'm not in a hurry. Kiss." Mikey. I hate it when she calls me that. What am I, a little boy? Although I guess for her I am. She's always lecturing me as if I'm 5 years old. Oh well, I'll endure it today. For Caitlin and the holiday's sake. Meanwhile, the weather is starting to deteriorate. The sky is covered with leaden clouds and snow begins to swirl. Just what we need, a blizzard. I step on the gas, if only to get to the airport and pick up Sophia as soon as possible. I'd hate to get stuck somewhere along the way. By some miracle, I make it to the airport on time. There are already knee-deep snowdrifts in the parking lot. The snowfall intensified while I was driving. I enter the arrivals hall and immediately spot Sophia. There she is, my second mommy in the flesh. Standing by the conveyor belt with a mountain of suitcases looking around. Yep, as always, all decked out. Makeup, hairdo, fashionable coat. And this is after a 5-hour flight. "Sophia, I'm here!" I wave my hand, making my way through the crowd. "Mikey, finally!" She throws herself on my neck. "I was beginning to think you forgot about me." "Oh no, how could I?" I mumble, awkwardly hugging her back. Sophia smells of expensive perfume and, for some reason, home. I grab her luggage, why do women never travel light, and lead her to the car. The whole way, Sophia chatters about the flight, her plans for the holidays, how much she missed Caitlin. I insert appropriate responses, but my thoughts are occupied with the worsening weather. At this rate, we risk not making it home. We spend about 40 minutes making our way through the snowy whirlwind on the almost snowed-in highway. I peer intently into the white haze, trying to keep the car straight. Sophia has quieted down, apparently realizing the seriousness of the situation. And then it happens. Out of nowhere, right in front of the hood, a huge dark figure materializes. Startled, I slam on the brakes and simultaneously yank the wheel to the right. But on the icy road, the car immediately skids and we plow full speed into a snowdrift on the shoulder. I'm thrown forward, but the seatbelt saves me from hitting the steering wheel. I hear Sophia's frightened yelp and immediately turn around. "Are you okay?" "Yes, I think so." She exhales, massaging her neck. "What on earth was that?" "Looks like a deer," I reply grimly. "Jumped out like a jack-in-the-box. I barely managed to brake." With difficulty, I climb out of the car and go to assess the damage. Seems like nothing too bad. The bumper is dented, but the windows are intact, except now our jalopy refuses to start. Apparently, the impact was stronger than it seemed. I get back in the car and pull out my cell phone. We'll have to call 911. We won't be able to get out of here on our own now. Alas, my worst fears are confirmed. The dispatcher informs me that all services are currently overloaded due to the bad weather, so we'll have to wait for a tow truck for at least 3 hours. With a groan, I sink back into the seat and close my eyes. Here we are, stuck, Just the kind of Merry Christmas we needed. Sophia is silent, but I can see from her face that she's frightened. I take her chilled hand in mine and give it a gentle squeeze. Don't worry, they'll come for us soon. In the meantime, let's think about how not to freeze to death here. An hour passes, then another. The blizzard still howls outside the windows, and help is nowhere in sight. The interior is getting chilly, even despite the periodically running engine. Sophia and I have wrapped ourselves in blankets found on the back seat, but it doesn't help much. Our teeth are chattering, and our fingertips are going numb from the cold. We have to do something, or we risk turning into two cute icicles. "How are you holding up?" I ask, my teeth chattering. "I've been better," Sophia chuckles. "Didn't think this holiday visit would turn into a fight for survival." "Knock on wood. We just need to wait for the rescuers. By the way, you don't happen to have any warm clothes in those suitcases of yours, do you? Not rich in blankets or anything? Let me check." Sophia starts rummaging through her voluminous bags. I watch with bated breath. Could we be so lucky? But no, it's all wrong. Dresses, shoes, gifts, no practical clothing. So much for relying on women in a crisis situation. After another hour, our teeth are already tap dancing, and clouds of steam are escaping our lips. I feel my consciousness slowly drifting away, a sure sign of impending hypothermia. We urgently need to come up with something, or the ending of this story won't be the rosiest. And then it hits me. A bold, desperate, and completely insane idea. I turn to Sophia and say decisively, "Listen, I have a plan. Just don't freak out or take me for a pervert. If we want to live until the rescuers arrive, we need to undress." "What?" Sophia's eyes widen. "Mike, are you out of your mind? We'll freeze to death." "On the contrary, the only way to warm up is to strip down and warm each other with our body heat. I read about it in some survival book." Sophia looks at me like I'm a nutcase, but apparently the prospect of slowly turning into a popsicle scares her even more. After some hesitation, she nods uncertainly. "Well, okay, but don't you dare tell anyone about this, and keep your hands to yourself." "Who do you take me for?" I puff up. "I'm just a victim of circumstances here, you know." We awkwardly peel off our outer clothing, trying not to touch each other. A tense silence hangs in the car, broken only by strained grunts and the rustle of fabric. When it comes to underwear, I squeeze my eyes shut and mentally apologize to Caitlin. "I'm sorry, honey, but I'd rather deal with your reproaches later than be fitted for a wooden overcoat." Finally, I'm down to my shorts, and Sophia is in an elegant lacy set. Damn, she's got a figure to die for. Okay, stop. Can't think about that. She's my wife's mother, after all. Swallowing hard, I recline the seats and gesture for Sophia to settle in next to me. We lie on our sides, facing each other, and I cover us with a pile of clothes. The first few minutes are wildly awkward. We lie an arm's length apart, too embarrassed to breathe. But gradually, the cold takes its toll, and I move closer, hugging Sophia around the waist. She draws in a shaky breath but doesn't pull away. Her skin is cool and smooth. Her hair smells of expensive shampoo. Damn. I need to think about something else. I try to recall all the unpleasant moments in my life. Maybe that will help. But you can't go against nature. The warmth of a woman's body and the proximity of a half-naked Sophia do their job. I feel something stirring in my groin area that has nothing to do with the cold. I just hope she doesn't notice. I'll never live down the shame. Soon, however, it becomes clear that I'm not the only impressionable one here. Sophia begins to squirm almost imperceptibly and press closer, her breathing quickening. I sneak a glance at her face. Her eyes are clouded, her cheeks flushed. Looks like someone's getting quite worked up. And then Sophia drops a phrase that makes my eyebrows shoot up. "You know, Mike, I think we need to do something else to warm up. How about a little exercise?" I can't believe my ears. Did Sophia just suggest that we... No, it can't be. She's a respectable woman, no matter what kind of body she has. Must have gone crazy from the cold, that's all. "What do you mean, exercise?" I asked cautiously. "Well, physical activity. Remember like in school during PE?" Sophia squints slyly. "Nothing gets the blood pumping like it." "Yeah, right, PE. It's clear from Sophia's face that she's not talking about squats or arm circles. Her eyes are gleaming with a feverish luster. Her lips are invitingly parted. Swallowing hard, I try to appeal to the voice of reason. "Sophia, we can't. It's wrong. You're Caitlin's mother, and I'm her husband. What will people think?" To hell with people, she suddenly blurts out. We're alone in the middle of a snowstorm right now and no one will know. I can't take it anymore, Mike. I like you. I always have. You're so attentive, so caring. I couldn't imagine a better husband for Caitlin, but deep down, I've always dreamed that you were mine. These words make my head spin. Sophia, it turns out all this time, damn, I had no idea about her feelings. But come to think of it, her behavior has always been somewhat ambiguous. Furtive odd looks, revealing outfits in my presence, accidental touches. Turns out I was just blind. My heart is pounding somewhere in my throat. Blood is rushing in my temples. My mind is telling me that this is crazy, that we shouldn't. But for some reason, my body is moving closer to the hot and soft Sophia. My fingers reach for the clasp of her bra of their own accord. To hell with morality, really. We're adults. We have the right to a little prank, especially in such force majeure circumstances. To hell with it! I exhale and kiss Sophia passionately on the lips. She immediately wraps her arms and legs around me, pressing her whole body against mine. Our tongues entwine in a hot dance, hands gliding over heated skin. The underwear fly to the side, and now we are completely naked. Everything after that is a blur. I only remember that we were both hot. Very hot. Sophia turned out to be a surprisingly passionate and inventive lover, flexible as a cat, insatiable as a bacchante. At one point, I even regretted not marrying her. I think we made love for several hours straight, exploring and trying different positions, helping each other reach the peak of pleasure. Several times I tried to stop, but Sophia wouldn't let me, drawing me into a new round. It was pure madness. We only came to our senses when dawn broke, and there was a pounding on the cab window with shouts of, "Hey, anyone alive in there?" The rescuers had finally arrived. Hastily putting on our clothes, and for some reason constantly missing the right holes, Sophia and I exchanged eloquent glances. Words were not needed. What happened that night would forever remain between us. After hastily making ourselves presentable, I climbed out. The rescuers efficiently inspected the car and inquired about our well-being. Fortunately, no one noticed anything strange about our rumpled faces and embarrassed silence. Praise be to Christmas miracles. Sophia and I didn't say a word to each other for the rest of the way home. We only stole occasional glances at each other, sometimes scorching, sometimes sheepish. It seemed that this crazy adventure had simultaneously brought us closer and pushed us apart. I can't imagine how I'm going to look Caitlin in the eye now. The next few days flew by in a haze. I tried to avoid being alone with Sophia at all costs, constantly citing things to do and hiding in corners. Cowardice is not my best trait, but I simply didn't know how to act around her. I felt too awkward and ashamed of what had happened. Sophia, on the other hand, acted as if nothing had happened. She chattered merrily with Caitlin, discussing various girly things, bustled around the house, and bestowed radiant smiles on everyone. Not a trace of embarrassment or guilt on her beautiful face, and only when no one was looking did she give me long, meaningful looks that made me flush with heat. So we lived, pretending that nothing had occurred. However, the tension was building, and I felt that this farce couldn't last long. And sure enough, the day before Sophia's departure, the thunder struck. Coming into the kitchen late at night to get a drink of water, I found my mother-in-law there, wearing a thin nightgown that didn't hide much. Seeing me, she broke into a sardonic smile. "Can't forget that magical night, huh, Mikey?" "Sophia, stop it," I hissed, looking around. "For God's sake, it was a mistake, a momentary weakness. Let's just pretend it never happened, okay? For Caitlin's sake." Sophia's smile slowly faded. Hurt and bitterness flashed in her eyes. "So for you, it was just a fling, a way to warm up? What about the spark between us, Mike? Didn't you feel anything?" "I did," I admitted dejectedly. "But Sophia, try to understand. I have a wife. Your daughter, by the way. I can't do this to her. Yes, you're a damn attractive woman, and that night was unforgettable. But it won't happen again. Ever." Sophia was silent for a long time, her head lowered. Then she sighed and said sadly, "Well, maybe you're right. Caitlin means more to me than anything in the world. I don't want to hurt her. So let's indeed leave what happened in the past. It will be our little secret." That's what we agreed on. The next morning, Sophia packed her things, kissed Caitlin and me goodbye, and left for the airport. My wife kept lamenting the whole way about how short a time Mom had stayed. but I was just sighing with relief to myself. Better this way than walking on a knife's edge every day. A lot of time has passed since then. Sophia and I have never been alone together again and have acted as if nothing had happened. Only occasionally, when no one was looking, did we exchange understanding glances, the glances of those who share a secret. Of course, I never could forget that Christmas night, and to be honest, I didn't want to. Memories of Sophia's passionate embraces still stirred my imagination and haunted my dreams for a long time. But I learned to live with it. After all, everyone has skeletons in their closet. They're shameful secrets and little sins that are best kept quiet about. This will become one of them. The main thing is that we manage to resist temptation and not do something irreversible. And now, every Christmas we celebrate as one big happy family. What's done is done. So that's the story, folks. Cherish your loved ones and don't ogle your mothers-in-law. Well, unless you're really hard up. And even then, don't get caught. Did you like this story? Let us know in the comments what you liked. Subscribe to our storytelling podcast. Also, don't forget to like and ring the bell so you don't miss more interesting stories. See you soon.